Hi, today I'll be talking about the globalization of Nike footwear, including what it takes to get a pair of Nike shoes from the factory to a store in Gainesville, Florida. Nike is a global company focused on designing, developing, marketing, and selling all types of athletic materials, including footwear, apparel, equipment, and accessories. The company is headquartered in Beaverton, Oregon, but operates in almost every continent. Nike works in North America, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, China, the Asia Pacific region, and Latin America. You can find Nike products sold in footwear stores, sporting goods stores, athletic specialty stores, department stores, and retail stores, as well as digital platforms that are owned by the Nike brand itself. Today, we'll look at what goes into the manufacturing of a Nike shoe. Nike uses 6 essential materials to create its footwear. These components are organic cotton, recycled polyester, synthetic leather, environmentally preferred rubber, polyvinyl chloride, and EvaFoam, which is made of ethylene vinyl acetate. Let's dive a little deeper into where each of these components come from. Nike has committed to primarily using organic cotton in its production process. The company sources its cotton from suppliers in China and India. Nike recycles solid plastic bottles to produce its polyester, which it also sources from China and India. Nike has also committed to using environmentally preferred rubber throughout its production processes. This is created using more benign accelerators and vegetable oils in the production process in order to reduce toxins. Nike gets its rubber from suppliers in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. EvaFoam is another component used to manufacture Nike footwear. EvaFoam is an environmentally friendly material that the company gets from producers in China. It's an elastic material that's similar to rubber, and it's used to create the midsoles of Nike shoes. Synthetic leather is used in the manufacturing process because it's cheaper and more breathable. Nike primarily sources its leather from China and Taiwan. The last component we'll discuss is polyvinyl chloride. In China, which is where the shoes we're discussing today are produced, Nike uses coal found in areas around production factories to start the calcium carbide process that ultimately creates polyvinyl chloride. Next, we'll look at the manufacturing process behind a pair of Nike shoes. Nike uses a vertically integrated model to produce its footwear, so the process takes place in 2 stages. The first stage is the primary stage. A pair of shoes coming to Gainesville starts at Cosmo Textile Company in Guangdong, China. In the primary stage, the inputs that are needed for production are extracted and sourced from various areas that are in close proximity to the production factory. Most production factories are located in China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. This is why we saw so many components coming from China, Taiwan, Thailand, Indonesia, India, and Malaysia. Next is the secondary stage, where raw materials that were gathered in the primary stage are sent to factories for manufacturing. This is the transformation process where these inputs are shaped into final goods, in this case, shoes. The pair of shoes is developed through a specific manufacturing process using a machine. This machine tramples and cuts the shoe shapes from a template. The mid portion of the shoe and the inside of the shoes are created using a cutting machine. This mid portion and the lower portion are then attached with the upper insole and then heated in a plastic mold. The outputs from this process are the finished pair of shoes, recyclable waste, and non-recyclable waste. Nike repurposes all of its recyclable waste by using it in the next production cycle. Next, the finished footwear from China is transported by boat to Global Sales and Warehousing, LLC, in Oxnard, California. After this point, the finished products are allocated to distribution centers around the country. In order to get these shoes to Gainesville, the footwear is shipped to Team Edition Apparel in Bradenton, Florida, where it is then transported to its final destination in Gainesville. In Gainesville, Nike shoes are sold at Dick's Sporting Goods, the Nike Factory Store, Foot Locker, and a few other small retail stores. Nike products such as footwear have an impact on workers and economies all over the world. The company employs a global workforce of over 800,000 workers, which means it provides jobs for hundreds of thousands of people around the world. However, poor labor conditions have created backlash for the company as the public continues to demand more socially responsible businesses. This could lead to governments enacting stricter regulations on labor conditions. Nike is also a dominant player in the athletic footwear industry as it holds a 33% market share of the athletic footwear sector. This means that Nike has some power in influencing price and product trends in the industry. Additionally, demand for Nike products has increased as people are becoming increasingly health conscious and aware of their well-being. This helps demonstrate Nike's strong global presence and contributes to the fact that its brand and logo are recognized all over the world. Finally, several policy implications are in play in order to get Nike shoes from China to Gainesville. 70% of all shoes sold in the US come from China, so relations between the United States and China play an important role in this process. However, this is kind of a complicated relationship. Long-standing trade frictions between the two countries have led to a trade war over the past few years. Both countries have incrementally imposed tariffs on the other, which has made imports, including Nike products, more expensive in the United States market. Despite this conflict, China remains the United States' largest goods trading partner and the largest supplier of goods imported to the United States. While both countries have been working towards agreements to alleviate tariff impositions, nothing has been put in place that would majorly impact Nike products. Overall, China imposes a tariff on 58.3% of imports from the United States, and the United States imposes a tariff on 66.4% of imports from China. Taiwan is also a player that impacts Nike's business, as the company sources some of its manufacturing components from Taiwan. China and Taiwan have an ongoing power struggle, with China continuously trying to exert military and political control over the country. The United States has offered its support for Taiwan through arms sales, naval ship passages near the Taiwan coastlines, and senior-level visits to the country. This outward support heightens tension and conflict between the United States and China and makes it more difficult for either country to accept solutions to the trade war. This was an overview of the factors and key players that impact the process of getting a pair of Nike shoes from the factory to Gainesville, Florida. It's interesting to see how many different components around the world come into play here. Thank you.